In last week's video, I showed you how to light a glass bottle using two different lighting techniques and boom, had a light bulb moment. Quite literally. Today we're lighting glass again, but with a twist. Two decorative light bulbs with LEDs inside. I'll show you how to get those clean white edges and a gorgeous glow. No 7-foot softbox needed. A few simple bits, a small space, and we're off. I won't nag you to subscribe yet. If it helps, I'll give you a gentle poke later. Cool? Cool. All right, let's do it. Hi everybody, I'm Kirsten Lass and you're watching Platypod TV, brought to you by Platypod, where innovation never sleeps. For this shoot, I decided to create a scene using a brand new product from our friends over at Clickbackdrops called the Pro Flat. These double-sided panels allow you to create a whole range of different mini sets, ideal for shooting products, still lifes, tabletop photography, and so on. I love the fact that you can just wipe them down, so they're really perfect for food photography as well. I went for a tiled background with a dark marble surface tile. These things look so realistic, it's unreal. I mean, it's real, but you know. Now, our challenge today is not only to light our set, but also to bring the LED lights inside to life. And that's easier than you think. But more about that in a minute. To light our light bulbs, I want wraparound highlights, those white edges that define the shape. But instead of using a huge 7-foot softbox, which takes up way too much space in my tiny studio, I'll use the back of another backdrop, which is white and serves as a perfect bounce. I placed my Godox 8400 with a 7-inch reflector behind the Pro Flat, pointing at the white surface of the backdrop, which will create a much larger bounce light and wrap nicely around the Click Pro backdrop. Now I use two white poster boards on either side of my mini set, about 10 inches from the edge of the set. There's enough of a gap to let the light through and get reflected back onto the sides of my light bulbs. I'm holding the cards with Platypod deltas, elbows and clamps, so it's easy to nudge them closer or farther until the reflections look silky. By the way, if you feel the need to tame the reflections in general, keep a polarizer handy. That gives you a lot more control overall. Since I'm using strobes, my camera is set to 1/200th of a second to cancel out all ambient light. ISO 100 and an aperture of f8. When using sets like this, it pays off to use a relatively long focal length, like my 105 macro, to compress the background enough to cover the whole frame. Okay, so we got our first shot. But what about the LED lights inside of our bulbs? In order to make them really glow, we'll need to take another shot and blend them later in Photoshop. It's super easy, and here's how it works. For my second shot, I turn my flash off and I change the shutter speed to 1 second. That shows up the inner glow of my bulbs really nicely. All that's left to do now is open these two images in Photoshop as layers, change the blend mode to the glow shot to screen, and hey presto, the final image is complete. And here's a bonus tip. You can also do this in one frame using rear curtain sync at 1 second so the flash pops at the end. I prefer 2 frames, it's cleaner and it gives me control later on. Let me know if you'd like to see the full edit in a future video, and as always, I'm happy to oblige. And there you have it, folks. I hope this video gave you some ideas and inspired you to try similar lighting setups at home. If you want to learn more about photography, check out my podcast, the Camera Shake podcast, where I talk to some of the leading photographers on the planet in detail about how they create their amazing images. And if you're not yet following the Camera Shake podcast, then what are you doing? Check it out on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever awesome podcasts live. You'll find all the links in the description below. As always, take a snapshot of your setup or share your final shots on Instagram. If you've been experimenting with Platypod gear or try out the lighting setups we've discussed today, I want to see your creations. Make sure you tag Platypod on Instagram and use the hashtag #postmyplatypod. And if you like this video, we have a button specifically for you right here. Join the community over on Facebook to see what other Platypod users are up to, and ring the bell so you don't miss our regular videos. That, my friends, is all for today. Keep creating, and I'll see you next time.